President Donald Trump announced a new development in the conflict between Israel and Iran. A ceasefire between the countries is said to be back on track. The president arrived in the Netherlands for the NATO summit and made the ceasefire announcement. This comes after a phone call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after intense escalations on both sides. On Capitol Hill, intelligence briefings on Iran have been postponed, sparking concern among lawmakers. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has criticized the delay, calling it evasive. Many, from the young to the old, are feeling concerned about these recent attacks and are worried about what will happen next. I'm joined by Joel Voss, an associate professor at the University of Toledo. Thanks so much for being here with us, Joel. Tell me, let's start with this. What are some of the obstacles to achieving and maintaining a ceasefire? We've already seen it hit some stumbling blocks.
Sure. So there are a couple of obstacles. One, Israel has a strategic advantage right now over Iran because it deteriorated its airspace, Iran's airspace. So Israel has an incentive actually to continue firing at Iran, while Iran, of course, has an incentive to show that it's strong and that it can protect itself. So in that sense, it's a fragile piece from both sides.
Is this typical? I woke up this morning around 7:30 and the president had already thrown some F-bombs out there. He was very angry with both sides, particularly in this situation with Israel. Is it common when we do have these ceasefire negotiations and agreements for there to be some lack of participation at first before we really get a good one going?
It's always common.
Yeah.
Yeah. In large conflicts, say like Ukraine and Russia, if there were a peace agreement, or a ceasefire, you would see it fail probably 2 or 3 times before it actually stuck.
How do we get a durable and effective ceasefire agreement rather than one that collapses after days or weeks?
Well, that's complicated, right? Because Israel needs to have its security guaranteed from Iran, but Iran also needs to have its security guaranteed from Israel and the United States. And so no one of those 3 players is necessarily ready to guarantee the other's security. So it's highly fragile, to say the least.
Is that because it's kind of a bargaining chip?
It is, yeah,
A
absolutely.
fear of another country. Yeah. What would a sustainable solution or peace process realistically look like? And I know that's a very complex question.
Yeah, well, in short, again, we need to have everyone's security guaranteed. The problem is that Israel and Iran are in a prisoner's dilemma where they would be much better off cooperating, but they're scared of being, duped, in other words. So a durable peace agreement would be to have Iran brought back into the international community, to have its nuclear weapons ambitions toned down or removed, but we can't do that until their security is guaranteed. Simultaneously, we can't guarantee a durable peace for Israel as long as Iran keeps up fighting Israel.
It doesn't seem like they would want to be a part of that with some of the things they've said and done, Iran.
No, but they also want to maintain stability within the country, right? So the one thing Iran wants more than anything is to maintain its government, right? Its power.
I want to talk to you about civilians because I think that's something that a lot of people are thinking about is the people, the actual Iranian people and the Israeli people who are caught in the middle of this. What are the implications for conflict for the civilians? Well,
fear. Right? It's terrifying to have missiles being shot at you, even if they're being intercepted. 2, displacement. 3, obviously death. 4, there could be a lack of access to resources, to food. Conflict is always the worst on civilians.
And Iran doesn't have a democracy, so they're not necessarily supporting the people who are making some of these decisions on their behalf, the civilians.
No, but public opinion inside of Iran is fairly pro-Iranian regime right now. And that usually happens if you're attacked.
All right, Joel, thank you so much. We appreciate your time here tonight. You're going to be with us, I think, coming up at 6 as well.
That's right.
Well, this is a developing situation we'll continue covering. We'll bring you the latest updates on air and online, as well as our free news app as those come in. Download the WTOL 11 News app for free in the App Store.